had like a $2,000 loan, a $4,000 loan, a $3,000 loan, and then the $18,000 loan. And then I have like a school direct plus, that's like $2,000.
Post-secondary education in America is viewed as necessary for a career and a well-paid job. Many consider our education system to be the pathway for the American dream, with many students seeking higher education in order to be able to stay in their ideal lifestyle. However, college educations can be expensive. Tuition, room and board, classes, and the many other amenities necessary for college life are very costly. In the majority of cases, the prospective college freshman will apply for various forms of financial aid. Aid can come in many forms: grants, scholarships, and the like provide the best sources of income as they usually require no payment.
These sources rarely cover all the costs necessitating the assistance of student loans. These can come from many places, but must be paid back. Often with high interest, federal loan interest rates have been notoriously high, and Congress needs to make sure that they are kept at a manageable level.
Student loans have been the center of many debates and discussions in Congress.
Mr. President, in just 2 weeks, like many proud parents across this country, I will be watching as my youngest daughter walks across the graduation stage. For some students, this important milestone marks the end of their college days and the beginning of a professional career. This achievement should be filled with hope for a great future. But for many, it will be a story saddled with student loan debt and uncertainty about the economy, their job prospects, and their future.
What students actually pay, which is what most of us are concerned about, the net price, the net tuition, actually rose more than that, and rose for the first time in quite a while. And that's because the amount of financial aid that particularly the federal government, because that's how you come up with the net price. That's what students actually pay. You subtract out what kinds of support.
These are the grants, the loans.
Exactly. And so the grant aid from the federal government, which had been really sharply increasing in the late 2000s, actually started dropping the last couple of years.
With roughly 71% of undergraduates receiving some form of federal financial aid, simplifying the complex system of grants, loans, and institutional support programs remains a central goal in our reauthorization efforts. Just last month, the committee discussed proposals to help streamline student aid programs.
According to Business Insider, total student loan debt is rising at a rate of $2,853 per second. There is approximately $864 billion in outstanding federal student loan debt.
We asked Mr. Harris Nussbaum about college loans.
Just think of the millions of people that are affected by student loans and how many people want to go to college or can't go to college because of the high cost of going to school. People don't realize how significant student loans are because I think that basically our economy in itself is dependent on an educated populace. We need to educate the young people in this country. And without an educated populace, our country will decline. In my mind, there's no question about it. However, there's been so little effort to really provide for many, 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 many individuals who want to go to college.
This week, I met with high school and college students in New York and Pennsylvania to discuss the surest path to the middle class, some form of higher education. But at a moment when higher education has never been more important, it's also never been more expensive. That's why over the past 4 years, we've helped make college more affordable for millions of students and families with grants and loans that go farther than before.
Obama recently signed a bill that lowered the interest rates for federal loans to 3.8%, but only temporarily. The rates will rise with the market rates and are capped at around 8%, which is incredibly high.
The average college student has unique perspectives as a consumer of the education system. As far as student loans go, Antonella, a college student, talks about her experience with student loans.
So every year by March, like March 1st, like that's like the second month of the year, you have to have signed up for your FAFSA. So you go in, you put all your tax information from the whole previous year that the FAFSA's like asking you, and your parents' tax information, right? So they take all that, and then they come up with this number of how much aid they're going to give you and how much loans. Okay. So that's what a college does. So me, I always end up getting more loans than anything, and then the rest is like a little scholarship, right? So I have $5,000 in scholarships, and the rest are in loans, right? So FIDM's like, what, 30 grand a year, I think? So I got that much in loans and that much in scholarship to make me pay like, what, 10,000, almost 11,000 a year, basically.
Even those who have graduated decades ago still feel the repercussions of student debt.
I was so pro-education. That's all I wanted in my life was an education. And you know, I'd like to still be pro-education, but to put anybody through what I've been through, no. Really, in my case, the education, I think, really ruined my life. Right. So, I mean, I would have been better off if I just would have gone to work at, you know, McDonald's or something, actually. So
that is unbelievable.
Because this is a debt I can never get over.
The most important issue facing Congress in 2014 is student loan debt. Congress needs to monitor student loan interest and make sure that rates don't become too high for our students, for our families, for our future.